Hello and welcome back to PA Academy. So this is example 4 under the gradient and divergence of a function. So if you look at this example we're having on the screen now, you see that it's a combination of both gradients and divergence. Exactly, that's div and grad. Now let's look at this. It says, given that phi is equals to 3x squared y squared z raised to power 4. Now we are asked to look for this, and then which is, or the div grad at point 1011. So again, you also need, like I said in the previous question, you also need to be able to identify a grad when you're asked to look for the gradient or you're asked to look for the divergence. Exactly, it's not all the time that you'll be giving the expression. Exactly, let me use that word, or the interpretation rather of what the symbols actually mean. So now for us to solve this question, we are asked to look for this. Exactly. So what we are going to do first is to first of all solve this, which is more like the gradient. That's the grad file. So once you get your grad file, you are going to use it to multiply this. That's the nebula or the nabla, the del. You are going to look for the dot product. Remember, there's a dot here. You're going to use it to look for the dot product. So that's just like a summary of how you are going to solve it. So if you have been following the video from the beginning, I want to believe you must have understand what I'm talking about. So you might just want to pause the video, attempt it, and see what you are going to get. All right, so let me also solve it from here. So like I said, the first thing we are going to calculate is the grad. And again, the formula for grad, I hope you still remember. So it's a partial differential of 5 over dx, then plus partial differential of 5 over partial differential of y, j, plus then z and then k. Okay, so this will be, and then our file is 3x cube y square z quarts, yeah, plus, so partial differential for that of y. So don't forget your ijk. So this will also be 3x square y square z raised to power 4 k, plus, then for that of z, and then this is also 3x cube. This is cube. So you just need to be careful with some of this kind of mistakes, so it won't affect your final answer. And then z quarts. Okay, so this will be j, and then this will be k. So just be careful with such mistakes. All right, so now let's simplify this. So if you have to look for the partial differentiation of what we are having here with respect to the partial differentiation of x or with respect to x, so that will give us 9x squared y squared z quarts plus, then don't forget the I. Okay, so for this with respect to y, it's going to give us 6s cubed yz raised to power 4j. So since we are differentiating just y, so y is 2y. So if you use the 2 to multiply the 3, that will give us 6. And then x cubed. So this is 3x cubed. And then z4 will still remain. Then plus for that of z, so this z, if you differentiate z, that's going to give us 4z squared. So the 4, if you use the 4 to multiply 3, so that will give us 12. So every other thing will remain. So we'll be having 12s cubed y squared z cubed, then your k. All right, so we've just looked for the grad of phi. So now the next thing we are going to look for now is the div. So, and again, which is d over dx I plus partial differential of y k plus partial differential z ij and then k. So we are going to be having that with the cross products of this, exactly, with cross products of grad phi. So that means we are going to be having 9x square y square z raised to power 4 I plus 6 x raised to power 3 y z raised to power 4g plus 12 x raised to power 3 y square z cube k. So let me just put that in a square brackets. All right. So now we can go ahead and do the dot products. So that means this would multiply what we are having here, and then this will come and multiply this, and then this will come and multiply this. All right, so now let's do that. So that means we are going to be having so let me just also write it out, so I don't want to just skip it. So partial differential. So once this is multiplying this, let me just put it into bracket. 9x square y square z raised to power 4. Like I said, this once they are multiplying each other, the I will no longer be there for j plus partial differential of y multiply that. So this is multiplying this, so that will be 6 s cube y z raised to power 4 plus partial differential over partial differential of z. So that means this is multiplying this, 12x cube y square z cube. Okay, so now let's attend to this. So if you are to look for the partial differentiation of this with respect to x, so this will give us, since we are differentiating only x, that will be 2x. If the 2 should multiply 9, we are having 18x y square z raised to power 4 plus, so now let's do this. If we look for the partial differentiation of what we are having there with respect to that of y, so if you differentiate y, so that y becomes 1, so every other thing will remain. So that will be 6x cubed z raised to power 4, then plus, now let's do this. So if you differentiate z, z will give us 3z square. 3z square, so the 3, if the 3 should multiply 12, we are having 36. So that will be 36x cubed y square then z square. I hope you know why is z square, because once we differentiate z cube, we are going to be having 3z square. So the 3 is what is multiplying the 12. All right, so now we've gotten the div grad of phi. So the next thing says at point 1, 0, 1. So now, so assuming the question did not give us any points, we can just stop. So we can just stop here, as this is the final answer. But now we are given a point, so that means our x is equals to 1, y is equals to 0, and z is equals to 1. All right, so that means our div grad file is equals to, so now let's do this. So for this will be 18 times, what's our x? Our x is 1, so that will be 18 times 1 times our y squared, that's 0. Okay, so to make it much more easier, since we already have 0 here, exactly, so what it means is that let's just come back here and check anywhere we are having y. So if we are having y anywhere here, our answer will just, that particular section is just 0. So now starting with this, we already have 0 here. Since this y is 0, so this is 0, and this is going to be z is 1, which is 1 square, which is still 1. But for the fact that we are having y, which is 0, so everything here is 0. So for this now, this is 6. There's no y here, so there's no y here, so we're going to be having a real number. So we are going to be having 6 times, now x cubed is 3, times z is 1, so that's 1 raised to the power 4. X is 1. So 1 raised to the power 3 is 3, not 3. I mean 1 raised to the power 3 is still 1, not 3. So this is going to be 1 times z is 1. So 1 raised to the power 4 is still 1. So, and then for this, since we are having y and y is 0, so everything here will be 0. So with this now, we already have our answer. This is going to be 0 plus 6 plus 0. And with that, our final answer will just be equals to 6. Wow. So you can see it's just a very interesting solution. So this is how you go ahead to solve this question in this nature. So it might just come in any other way, but just try to break it down, simplify it, follow how it is being arranged, and then you solve accordingly. So if you have any doubts or if you have any question with respect to this particular solution, do make sure you leave them in the comments section below. And if you find value, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. And if you are still yet subscribed, please click on that subscribe button to subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. In the next one, we're going to be dealing with call. All right, so thank you very much, and I'll see you all in the next one.